How many of you had a fake ID? Or yeah, there's several out there, or one from a relative or something. Well, we've all had that friend that gets you into trouble, and I had a real good friend in high school. We got each other in trouble, and this dates back to one time we had just graduated, or about, yeah, we had already graduated from high school, and that summer he shows me this catalog where you can send away for an ID. And oh, this is just too cool. And they have all kinds of things. You can be a doctor of divinity. You can be from another country. You can be from any state. You can make up just about anything you wanted to be. And you can send away for $5 to Las Vegas, and they send you back an ID. So this just looked too good to be true. But we had to send in pictures with them because they came out pretty cool. And so, well, what are we going to do for pictures? Well, we got our high school yearbook out. And we both look young. I mean, I looked really young. I looked like about 12, you know, in those high school yearbook pictures you get back in when I was in high school anyway. You got your suit on with the tie, and you got that look, you know, and you got that goofy look on your face. And so I looked about 12, and that's the picture I'm going to use on the fake ID. We send that in, you sign the form, and you send that in, and it actually comes back with your real signature on it, but with somebody else's thumbprint on it. And so I thought, well, I'm going to be from Canada. So I got one that said the Dominion of Canada on it. And it was beautiful. It really did come back and looked really sharp. Now, they hadn't called it the Dominion of Canada since about 1960, but that's okay. Nobody in the States knew that. So I went off to college then that fall. And actually, I think I was already in college when we hatched this scheme. And came back that my second quarter or something like that with this fake ID, and it worked great. I even had a backup one from Ontario, you know, that I could, oh, that one's not good? Well, in my Canadian, well, how about my Ontario one? You know, I got two of them. You know, so that worked fine. But I still have that yearbook. We can poke our finger through where we cut our pictures out of the yearbook. So I don't have our yearbook pictures, but it worked good. My college roommate then, he says, hey, that's too good. He got one too, and he was also from Canada. So when we go to the local municipal liquor store in Morris, Minnesota, anybody go to Morris? That's where we went to college. The guys at the liquor store knew us as those two Canadian kids, you know. They're only 12, but they're, you know, they got IDs, so that's fine. So we got by with those just fine. Another kid in the dorm, Obi, he got one. He sent away for it. And when his first time he walked downtown, this is we're all in the freshman dorm together, so we're just kids. And he's walking, he tells the story of walking down to the liquor store. He's scraping it on the trees as he goes down to make it look older and everything. So, well, these worked great. They really did, because we had them laminated even. So there's our picture in there. There's a signature, somebody else's thumbprint, the whole 9 yards. So they worked really good. One time I was actually studying late in the library until about midnight. I actually did study once in a while. And I went back to the dorm, and I opened up the basement door where we went in. And this was the first co-ed dorm Morris has ever had. And so we had boys on the bottom and the girls in the middle, and then the top floor was boys again. Well, I opened up the door, and oh baby, I walked in, saw three guys walking nude the other way with people, boys and gals on both sides of the hallway, everybody with a beer cup in their hand. And I had missed a kegger. I went, I just missed a party. Well, I'm getting in late on it anyway. I got in on the fourth keg, and the RA, apparently, the resident assistant, was gone somewhere, so they were partying hardy that night at the dorm, and I blame Obi for getting the kegs. So it was a wild party, and I remember one case where I walked by one room and looked in, and here's a guy talking to some gals along the floor, and he's just wearing underpants, little tighty whities. Somebody comes up behind him, yanks those babies down. What does he do? He just goes... So that was a heck of a party. We had others in that dorm too. That I remember one time there was a water fight, and they ended up having to roll up these carpets. There's a terrazzo floor there. They rolled up the carpets, turned them on end so it could drain all the water out of them. But it was a fun dorm, I tell you. That was a great time. And those IDs worked really good, but there was one time when I was in Colorado. Anybody been to Breckenridge, Colorado? The Gold Pan Bar? Back in the day, it was quite something. This is the 70s we're talking about. And I went in, pulled out my fake ID to get a beer at the Gold Pan. And the bartender looks at it. He walks down about 3 places at the bar, shows it to a guy at the bar who's apparently management of some sort. Guy looks at it. He says, "You play hockey?" I said, "No." He says, "It's fake." What was I thinking? Of course I play hockey, dude, eh? So, but the next thing he said was, "Serve them." Thank you.